Hey everyone, it's Nicole Atherton back here today with a scrapbook layout, traditional 12 by 12 scrapbook layout. Today, the only two things that I knew that I was going to use in this layout was this photo of us and then these die cut pieces that I just put down from One Little Bird. These papers are from the Roman Holiday Studio Calico kit, and as are the die cut pieces. These pieces right here are from the printables section of the scrapbook workbook. That's an option for you to get on Studio Calico. It's $5 a month, and you get printables and you get some ideas. So I have subscribed to that. Um, I added this heart tag to the mix, and that's left over from my documenter kit from the same month. And this is the stamp set that came with it, so I'll probably use that as well. As I'm figuring out which pattern papers I want to use, I wanted to get that blue in my scarf highlighted, so I chose this blue paper here, and I'm just trimming it. I'm not sure if this is the actual size that I'll be using in the end, or if it's going to be a different size, but I'm just starting there. And just sort of layering that gold foil tag underneath that bottom side of the photo. So I wanted to use the One Fine Day, but you can see the orientation of the tag is that the straight line is on the right hand side, so I just moved things around so that I could justify the tag all the way to the edge of that paper. And orange complements blue great, so I think I'm going to be using this orange crayon in my cluster of embellishments on the side, which will be most of the die cut pieces. Again, that's an idea that I got from that workshop. And I love these these die cut pieces. These are the only ones I have left out of both packs, so just totally loved all of them. The Make More Adventures is again from that printable piece, and as is that journaling card there at the bottom with the little trees and stuff on it. And you'll see that I'm just sort of adding some pieces to the border. Then I got distracted, and then I picked up the vellum strips and thought about which one I might want to use, and then decided, oh yeah, I was going to go back to this side. As I'm putting these things down, you can see that sweeping motion that I made with my hand, that I was thinking I needed something soft, something more organic, because all of the edges and the elements are right angles so far, and it looked a little harsh. So I added that circle that says right now to the picture, and I like the way that looked. So I knew that I was going to have to add some circles up here pretty soon to balance everything out. Adding some more pieces to the edge there. That Wander label fits well with what we're doing, and this says field notes, and I'll put that right on top of that label there. These are also from the kit, the scrapbook kit. Small embellishments I typically use at the end, but I leave them out in my field of view so that I don't forget about them as I'm going to incorporate them. They basically say all the days of the month, the days of the week, and then some other random things like love and 2017 and stuff like that. This gold sticker, You and Me, I'm pretty sure I want to use that, but I'm not sure where, so I cut it out so I can freely move it around, and it's separated from the sticker sheet itself. Here you see me getting my circles out. Like I said, I knew I wanted to use circles. I knew it needed it, and I grabbed that yellow piece of paper. Yellow and blue are primary colors, and it's a pretty safe bet. Even though I'm trying to do like a blue and orange thing that I grabbed from that circle, yellow works just fine. So I usually try to do elements in threes, and here's my third one that I'm going to stick under the photo and have it peeking out a little bit from that label as well. Next, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this stamp set. I think I'm going to stamp it onto a piece of scratch cardstock and cut them out to make another couple of elements, like I needed any more to mess around with, but I'm not feeling ready to commit to stamping directly onto any piece of paper. So this is a safe way for me to figure out if I want to use something, if I, where I want it to go, so I can keep moving it around. And I had to stamp it twice because I'm not left-handed, but I'm stamping left-handed because the camera's in the way right there. So next I'm just going to be cutting these out and deciding where I'm going to put everything. I know I want something in that lower left-hand corner of the photo, but I'm not sure if I want that or something else. So again, it's good that I'm able to float things around. Good for the soul. Again, I know I want to use that, but I'm not sure where. So I tried to put this embellishment cluster at the bottom, kind of like a Lisa Truesdell style. She's a designer on Studio Calico, and she kind of clusters her elements close together but not necessarily touching. So I wanted to see if that was going to work, and I didn't like it, so I moved on to something else. And that's kind of what I do. I do one thing in one area, and then if I'm not jiving on it, then I kind of let it be for a minute or two and move on to something else. And as I come back to it or think about it or just sort of see it out of the corner of my eye, things start to settle around and I can see things a little bit differently. So at this point, I'm ready to move on to figure out this other right side cluster. And I scrapped the whole idea of what I was doing at the bottom because it just wasn't working for me. There's too much stuff. There's too much stuff on the right hand side, too much stuff on the bottom. So I simplified it by condensing both of those embellishment clusters into one and tuck the Make More Adventures tag right underneath. The Off We Go and Wander label stickers or labels are perfect for the kind of message that the page is sending. And where to put this You and Me sticker, I'm not sure yet. So I put the This Moment Has My Heart over the You plus Me equals We because I already have a You and Me sticker on there and I don't want that to be too repetitive. So I go back and forth on trying to figure out which one of those sentiments I want in the bottom of my photo. I cut out these abstract trees from the 3x4 card that came in the printables kit from the workshop and put it on the bottom, and I'm thinking I like that little cluster down there on the edge of the pattern paper. Next I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my journaling and where it's going to go. But then as I'm thinking about it and cutting apart little papers as an element to move around, I realized that I don't really have too much to say about this photo. On the page immediately preceding this one in my album, I have a full 12x12 layout of scenes from Yosemite Valley and just talking about our trip there. So I don't really have much to add to that except maybe where we were exactly, which will fit just on that little space right there. So this is going to be fabulous. We'll be kind of at the bottom of all those things, and then that little space in between the photo and the vellum strip is a perfect spot for my journaling. So that worked out pretty well. Now I'm pretty ready to commit, I think. So I'm marking a few key pieces where I want them to go once I come back and get them all adhered down. So first I'm going to move things out of the way and kind of keep the clusters together as much as possible and adhering down this blue strip. Now I'm putting it down this way, and then I realized, oh crap, the pencil marks are oriented the other way, so I had to flip it around. Next I'm just putting down my embellishment pieces where I put the pencil marks as a starting point, and then I layered it out from there. Tucking the 2017 under the Oh Yes. And I have this yellow pattern paper circle, and I have the orange crayon or pencil, and I don't like it. It's kind of blendy too much or something. It's not enough contrast there. So I popped out the gray one, and hey, you know what? That worked out pretty well. I liked the gray contrasting, and plus I have the gray vellum strip. So I switched it out. The Good for the Soul I layered on top of the other circle, and it just, again, futzing, moving things around, getting everything exactly where I want it to be. And I just wanted that pencil to cover up the extra space that had the pattern paper showing through. And then putting down this Good for the Soul, kind of askew on the circle. Ready to commit and put that pencil down. And then these trees I did end up liking here at the bottom, but I didn't want that point to line up with the line of the pattern paper, so I just adjusted it a little bit. Still not ready to stick down that you and me quite yet, so moving on to putting down the photo. So when I put down photos or any other elements that don't require me to have adhesive all the way to the edge of the paper, I kind of put the adhesive in a couple of centimeters so that I can tuck stuff underneath it like this without damaging any of the elements, like the paper underneath it or the picture or whatever. The pattern paper on the edge, I do put the adhesive all the way towards the edge because that's the edge of the paper and you really don't want that to be lifted up at all anyways. So it's safe to put your adhesive all the way to the edge. But everything else, I kind of put the adhesive in the middle or kind of away from the edge a little bit so that I can tuck stuff underneath. These gold foil stickers, they're really neat, but man, they are so hard to work with. It takes forever to get them off the sticker sheet. It takes a little bit of finagling to get it exactly where you want it to go without creating any wrinkles in it. So I like them, but I have a love-hate relationship with them. And putting down my right now little sticker circle using a pop foam adhesive, and I'm just adding some of my journaling. So I'm noting that we were on the banks of the Merced River at the Yosemite Valley, and I'm just adding the date to the bottom of the photo there. Next, I'm ready to move on to my smaller embellishments, which I tend to do at the end, and just sort of scattering them around, mixing up the colors, mixing up the placements. I'm not sure if you can hear that. That's my little cat Maggie, and she's saying good morning. So yeah, putting in some circle hearts, again another softer, less angular element. And usually I put down an odd number of embellishments, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I didn't like that last one, so I left it at 4, and I'm happy with that. And then the other small embellishments that I considered using were these circles. Again, another organic shape. Added a couple here and there. One at the bottom says love, and then the one at the top of that one says 2017. So here's some still photos. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time, and happy crafting. See you next time.